Now that you're with me, let's talk about the most common communication traps all couples fall into. And believe me, every couple hits these at some point in their marriage. Let's start with a story, one that may sound familiar to you. There was a couple I worked with, Ashley and Darren. Ashley felt like Darren never really heard her. She'd bring up something bothering her, maybe something as simple as the dishes not being done after Darren said he'd do it, and somehow, within 5 minutes, they'd both be shouting, or worse, giving each other the silent treatment. When they came to see me, they were really stuck. Ashley would say, "You never help around the house." And Darren would fire back, "I work all day and you don't even notice what I do." Does this sound familiar? This is a textbook example of what Dr. Gottman calls the 4 Horsemen. These are relationship destroying patterns in the way that we talk that will shut down communication and hurt any couple. The first is criticism, pointing fingers instead of expressing what you need or want. The second is defensiveness, which is protecting yourself instead of staying open to what your partner is asking for or trying to express. Contempt is the third. It's eye rolls, sarcasm, or acting better than your partner, morally superior, like I'm up here and you're down here. And the fourth is called stonewalling. That's when you shut down emotionally and literally or figuratively. You might leave the room or you're pretending to listen to them, but inside your heart rate's really rising and no amount of wanting to listen is letting you listen. You're shutting down. And each one of these can be damaging to your connection, but together they can create communication breakdown that goes nowhere. Here's the good news. Each horseman has an antidote. Criticism, you've got to replace it with a gentle startup where you say, I feel blank about blank. I need this instead. You're teaching your partner what you need. Underneath every criticism is a longing. So you're just talking about what you're feeling and what you're wanting rather than describing your partner. The second one, defensiveness, you've got to try taking some responsibility. So even if they're asking for something small or big, or they're complaining about something, trying to take some responsibility for being part of the solution, for helping your partner with what they're wanting or needing, rather than reactively defending yourself or criticizing them. For contempt, it's all about expressing appreciation and respect and seeing your partner as a true equal. It's okay for them to disagree with you. It's okay for them to think differently. Your way is not the best way or a better way. Seeing them as both just different. And then for stonewalling, you've got to learn how to self-soothe and take breaks, because stonewalling is usually just a body's reaction. When your heart rate is too high, that's why people start to shut down or tune out or try to leave an argument. So let me break this down with Darren and Ashley. Instead of Ashley saying, "You never help," or "You're always finding an excuse," she could try saying, "I've been feeling really overwhelmed with all these chores lately. I'd really appreciate it if you could help me clear the kitchen tonight." That's a gentle startup. It's not harsh. She brings it up gently, kindly, but it's specific and yes, kind, and it makes a clear, specific request. And Darren, instead of immediately jumping to his defense, he could say, maybe take a breath. "You're right. I haven't been great about the dishes and housework lately. Let's come up with a plan so it doesn't all fall on you." And even a small shift in tone or language can completely change the dynamic. And why do these patterns matter so much? Well, because over time, repeated experiences of feeling criticized or judged or dismissed when you're asking for help, it builds up emotional scar tissue and resentment. And you stop seeing each other as allies and, equals. And this erodes trust because you start to feel like I can't depend on this person or this person doesn't care. So your goal isn't to avoid conflict forever. Conflict is necessary because you're two different people. And, avoiding conflict is impossible and it's unhealthy. Your goal is to learn to engage better, to talk in a way that brings you closer and treats each other kindly and gently as equals, even when you disagree. So take a moment now and think about how you typically communicate during times of stress. Do you shut down? Do you get sarcastic or maybe get louder? Maybe you go quiet and just hope the problem will blow over. And none of this makes you a bad partner. It just means that you haven't learned a better way yet. In the next section, we will start with the most powerful shift of all, learning to listen, not to fix or defend, but to understand. Because before you can solve a problem, your partner needs to know you care, that you get it. And that starts with listening. So let's keep going.